Gary Wilson is former chairman of Northwest Airlines. Gary is currently a private investor and general partner at private equity fund Manhattan Pacific Partners. Gary, good to have you on the program. Whenever there's a merger, the companies like to call it a merger of equals. Is that the case right here? Is it a merger of equals, opportunity, or desperation?
No, I don't think it's desperation. I think this merger was required to rationalize the American airline industry, and I think both firms are fine firms. And whether it's a merger of equals or unequals, it was a merger that had to occur, and I think it'll do well.
What do you make of the timing of the merger? I mean, it seems pretty spot on, given that the global economy is recovering. We have capital markets picking up. Is it the right time?
Well, I'd say all those things that you just described make it the right time, because I do think that the economy is picking up. The numbers in the last 60 days indicate that. And the capital markets are open to if any financing is needed. But I think what they said at the outset is that these firms have been reducing their debt during this period of time. They've cut their costs, and I think that they will be well positioned to take advantage of hopefully a recovery from the great recession that we're in.
How about in terms of market share? How crucial is this merger in securing greater market share from the rivals, the likes of Delta Airlines, American Airlines?
Well, I'm not so sure so much. I'm not sure it's about market share. I think what you have to do is look internationally, because what's happened over the last 2 decades is that instead of having just national carriers, we have alliances. The Star Alliance, which United is the leader of with Lufthansa, SkyTeam, which is Delta and Air France KLM, and then you have One World, which is American and British Airways. And we'll find out over the coming 20 years, in my view, is that these will be the big 3 alliances that are competing, and they're both, all 3 of them have about the equal number of geographical assets around the world, namely North America, Asia, and Europe. And I think the better management team will win over time.
What does the merger mean? Do you expect this merger to result in firings? Will they need to cut workers, whether it's frontline or flight crew or even management?
Oh, yes. I think that the 2 airlines now are already alliance partners in the Star Alliance. So they're already generating some of the revenue synergies that would result from a merger, probably 3/4 of them. But there's lots of cost synergies that they will be able to to take from the system. My guess is $500 million to $1 billion a year in expense savings based on mergers of that size.
You know, Gary, what's in it for the customers? Will they necessarily benefit from this merger between United and Continental? Are there more destinations, perhaps seamless travel?
Well, I think the customer is going to be much better served in this situation, because they'll have more connections to choose from. And I think more important to the worldwide consumer is you want to have a healthy airline industry. And that's not an industry where everybody loses money. There's bankruptcies all the time, all kinds of labor problems. I think this, in effect, rationalizes the industry and prepares it for the future.
Surely there are risks as well. I mean, it's never easy merging 2 separate companies.
It's never easy, and first of all, we have to assume the government is going to approve this merger. Back in the late 90s, Northwest bought Continental, and we couldn't get it through the Justice Department. Now, I think the whole world has changed today. I think there's a very high probability it will get through the Justice Department. Then the next thing is, are you going to get it through the unions? United's unions have been very difficult for many, many years, and I would hope that they have some of these agreements negotiated before they announce the merger. If not, there's going to be a lot of union issues that are going to develop over time on this merger. But these are going to be solved because it's in the best interest of the workers, in my opinion, to have a financially solid industry where everybody can grow together.
Gary, just one final question. Just take it a step further. Take a look at the recovery in the industry as a whole. Are you convinced about the momentum?
No, I'm never convinced about any momentum when it comes to economics. All I know is what we've seen in the press in the last month is that tourism, the hotel chains are doing better, the airlines are doing better, and I have to believe, unless there's going to be another recession, I think we're going to grow out of this. I don't think it's going to be a very fast growth, but I think it's going to start to stabilize, and that's really what you need in this industry.
All right, cautious Gary Wilson, thank you so much for your insights today.